Hey everybody, it's Justin from Built, and today we are going to build an incredibly modular storage system. I'm developing this for me as a way to store all my videography equipment that I use here for my YouTube channel, but it can totally be used for tools, for crafting supplies, for whatever you're interested in putting in here. The main idea is that I would like to use a crate system that has organizing capabilities in it to be able to keep everything really nice and organized while it's here in the shop. But then I can flip a switch and take the entire crate out of the system and just throw it in my car when I need to go film on location somewhere else. So it'll make things a lot easier for me and incredibly organized. As you've seen from my videos, I love organization. So that's the big one today. I will also put my entire cut sheet at the end of the video so you can build this as well for yourself if you're interested. So let's get to it today on Built. So I went looking at the big box stores all over the internet. I was looking for a really good modular storage system that had really good built-in organization capabilities. Typically when I look at the big box store type of tool organization systems like the Packout, for example, there are options for dividers, but typically only a few. And most of the time you have like cups and bins in these types of things. And that's not really what I wanted. So I eventually found this company. It's called Sidio Crate. They're manufactured here in the United States. And man, do they have a million options to organize these crates. So I reached out to them. I asked them if they would send some out for this video. They were nice enough to do so. So thank you very much, Sidio Crate. They aren't sponsoring the video though. It's the item that I wanted to get for this. So what I like about them and why I asked for them. Clear lids so that I can see exactly what's inside all of my containers. And they do have different style lids too. The one that I just took off, or they have ones that are standard hinged ones on here. Inside, unlike those main toolbox systems that I talked about, these have built-in divider tabs on both sides of the box. And so you can either choose to put a divider all the way across, or you can get one of these middle divider sections and then make a whole bunch of smaller boxes inside here. And all of these dividers have locking tabs. You just pull the tab and now it's out. And so I can put as many of these in here as I want to in any, space size, and it really moves around really, really easy. When I'm looking at the bigger ones, they have obviously much bigger dividers, but I can do the same thing in there. I can have things that attach to the tops of the lids. I can use it as a rolling cart, and we'll look at that later. And then they have other cool things like this. It is a silicone-coated foam, so it's not neoprene, although it kind of feels like it. And it's got black on one side and red on the other. I really like the red because it makes all of my items that I put on here kind of pop out a little bit, makes them easier to see. But this goes into the bottom of these, and then it adds just that extra layer of protection for items that are in here. It's grippy too, so it helps them not roll around on the inside. The main thing is options. And that's what I really like because I love organization. So what we're going to do now is we are going to measure out all of the sizes of these crates. I'm going to use 3 different sizes as represented here. On the bottom row of my cart, I'm going to use this one that has the flip-up lid. It makes it a little bit taller, so I need to account for that. Then we'll have a row of the larger crates, and then we'll have a row of the smaller crates up on top. We're going to go ahead and assemble a simple cabinet carcass. I have my top and bottom here. We are going to add pocket hole screws on the right and left side so that we can join it to our side pieces. Using corner clamps, I'm attaching the bottom to the sides with pocket hole screws. And then I'm screwing on the top of the cabinet from inside. My son Ben then helped me stand the box up. Our basic cabinet carcass is built. I now have 3 of my interior dividers. I need to add pocket holes to the top and bottom of this so that when I stand it up, I will be able to mount it above and below. With this, I'm going to be able to have 4 Sidio crates wide, 3 tall. And I've also decided I'm not going to put a backer on this. This is going to be solid crates in here. It's almost as if you had a solid drawer unit. So you're never going to see the back of it. Of course, if that's something that you still want to add on, you totally can. You can put a decorative thin sheet back here if you like, but I don't see the need for my purposes. I have the pocket holes drilled in all 3 dividers, and I have them loosely put into position. I'm using my spacers, and again, we will reuse these later, so this isn't wood that we're just throwing away. I've cut each one of these to 13 3/4 inches, and now I perfectly have 4 of the exact same size bay. While these spacers hold the wood in position, I can now go ahead and screw all the pocket holes in. Now that the bottom of these dividers is in, I've moved my spacers up to the top, holding them with clamps, and now we're going to go and screw in the top. Our dividers are in now. Now is a great time to do your sanding. I'm going to sand it down to 600 grit all throughout. This will eventually be painted, but it will be in another video because I'm redoing my entire office and I want to paint everything with the same batch of product at the same time. That way there's no variations. Also, make sure you are wearing your PPE, running your dust collector while you are sanding. I have nodules on my lungs from breathing in sawdust. And so you want to make sure that you maintain your health. Wear the appropriate PPE, please. Now we need to look at how we're going to mount our Sidio crates in here. There's a couple different ways, and of course, everybody has a different budget. So I like to outline other ways of doing things whenever we're doing projects like this. I'm making the expensive choice for myself. I'm going to be using drawer slides. But not everybody wants to spend that extra money on a ton of drawer slides everywhere. So let's look at a couple other options. One option is to do rails, just like you see in this solution next to my miter saw here in the shop. When you have some sort of bin in on here, it can slide in and out. It obviously won't support it as you bring it out all the way like drawer slides would, but it's definitely a very economical solution. You just take 1.5-inch pieces of wood, you cut it to the depth of your cabinet, glue it and screw it, and you'd be surprised it holds quite a bit of weight and is very economical. Another option is to use static shelving that you attach directly to the cabinet. Your crates can then sit on this and slide in and out. Or you could use a shelf pin jig to put all the holes where you move that pin up and down like you would see on most cabinetry. And then that gives you the availability to raise your shelf up and down as your needs change. For my solution, I am going with a shelf on drawer slides. So this is going to give me a more drawer functionality with these like I wanted. It does add a lot of extra cost in buying the drawer slides, of course, over 12 bins. Now, when I designed this, the Sidio crate is around 18 inches in depth, but our cabinet is 22 inches. So we have quite a bit of gap from the back of this crate when we pull it all the way out. The reason why that's important is the cabinet itself is 22 inches, the Sidio crate is 18, so when the drawer fully extends and you need to use full extension drawer slides, you can see that I have a mock shelf right above it. I'm able to keep my lids on this and then open them fully straight up and down. If the cabinet was only this deep, I'd be hitting that shelf right above it and I wouldn't be able to open up my lids all the way. For attaching in all of my sliders, I did one set first. That way I could deem what the exact spacing should be. I ended up making spacers out of scraps. That way I can easily replicate this down the line by using the exact same spacer all the way down so that all of our crates will be at the exact same height. Make sure you move your spacer around to ensure that you're having equal distance in both the front and the back. Sidio Crate also makes this mounting plate, and a lot of people who use Sidio Crates do like off-roading and overlanding and stuff. And so you can actually mount this in your vehicle, place a crate on here, and then this locks it in place so that it doesn't move. So utilizing these on the shelves, I'm able to just put my crate down on the plate, lock it into place. It's not going to move, it's not going to shift around while I pull the drawers in and out. And then if I want to take it somewhere, I just flip the little tab, take it out. Obviously, again, I'm going all out on mine, but these are really, really cool crates for people who mount them inside their vehicle or their trailer. That way, when you're swapping in your bins and stuff, it's going to stay in place even while the vehicle's in movement. All right, we're going to make 12 of these sliding drawers. Super easy. Piece of wood. We have our drawer slides. I picked these up on Amazon in bulk, and they seem to be pretty decent quality. I'll link them down below. Make sure you slide out your drawer slide, flip it over, hit the little tab, and slide it on out. We're then going to flip up our shelf, place it on the side, make sure that over on this side you are flush, center it on the board, and then we need to drill first and then screw in at least 2 locations. Apply the screws on the slide and flip it over and add a second slide, making sure that both slides are pointed in the exact same direction. Now, I need to mount all of these plates, but you just don't want to put them in willy-nilly. You need to make sure that they're in the exact same spot all the way across and that it works with the functions. So I need enough space so that the little flap right here can fold down so that I can unlock and lock the crates in place, but I don't want to push it too far back, because if I push it too far back, I'm not going to be able to open things up. So if I'm a little bit further back, it would be like this. So take your time and make sure you measure on this type of thing. I'm going to be putting mine 3/16 back. That should be enough space for me to be able to open this, as well as not have it impeded when I open up the lids. To hide that ugly plywood edge, I am gluing a thin molding piece called a mullion shoe, and then I'm using a pin nailer to hold it in place. Now I'm going to add some feet to the underside of the cabinet. What I'm going to use is some of these pre-made feet. They have a nice look to them, so pick these up at the big box store. To mount the foot, you just use this heavy-duty top plate. They're really cheap, and they're incredibly stable once you screw them on. I'm giving it a last time over with my detail sander to make sure that I get in all those little small crevices. So this turned out exactly the way I wanted to. Like I said earlier, I will be putting a decorative top, and I will be finishing this with a paint color, but that's going to be in another video where I redo my office. I want to make sure everything matches. Now, from a functionality standpoint, what I set out to do, I have achieved. So now I have a drawer unit. So all of these can just act like drawers. I can see exactly what's inside because they're clear lids. The lids are keeping all the dust out of my sensitive camera equipment. You got to keep dust away from lenses and stuff like that. But of course, this could be used for tools or any other purpose. But when I need to go somewhere else on location, all I have to do is flip this down and the crate comes out with me, which is fantastic. There's other accessories that apply to that too that Sidio makes. First, they have this rubberized anti-slip mat. This is great for in a vehicle because you can just place your crate on top. It fits with the form factor of it, and the cabinet is moving before the crate will. So it's going to stay put inside of your trailer or your vehicle. Another cool option is using the skateboard. It's basically one of the mounting plates, but they put casters on the bottom. So what I'm able to do is grab one of these crates, place it right on top. That way I don't have to carry it out to my vehicle, or when I'm on location, I can basically stack them up on here and transport them wherever I need to. You can also convert this with the rubber mat here that they sell. That goes right on top. And now I have a mobile seat. It will definitely support my 220 pounds everywhere. So that's really cool. There's also tons of different organizing options that they have. Zipper pouches, lid mounted covers, all sorts of stuff. They are priced really well compared to organizing lines like Packout. They come in tons of colors, and they provide so many organizing options. It's a organized, addicted person like mine dream. So I'm very, very happy with this setup. Again, Sidio didn't give these to me to make a video. I went looking for a solution. I found this stuff. I asked them if they would send it out, and they were nice enough to do so. So thank you very much again, Sidio, for sending me these for the video. They are the perfect solution for what I wanted. Again, I'm one of those crazy, organized, obsessed people, and this kind of feeds my addiction. So I'm very happy with it. Well, if you got some good info out of this video, got some good content, I hope you'll like and subscribe. That's really what helps me grow the channel. And as always, stay safe in the shop. I'll see you in the next one.